Hi, this is Kate. Welcome to In the Studio with Kate. It's week 15 of my second year of doing these little videos on Friday to talk about progress, things I'm thinking about, and so on and so forth. The past probably 2 weeks, I have been organizing. It has nothing to do with the Marie Kondo stuff out there. I read her book a long time ago. My emphasis was too much stuff, closing in, not having enough room to create art, because I have some of my supplies in other rooms. Okay, I had a dresser in a bedroom down here. I'm in my basement that had papers in it, and I since reorganized. I have a dresser right over there. We're going to reorganize that dresser and found different ways to store the paper. And so one of the things that happened with the paper storage was I had a lot of pieces of paper. I had this conglomeration all clipped together, and I wanted to explain a little bit about them. Because sometimes you're doing a project and say you have this much paper left. You had to cut something off. You have this much paper left. Or sometimes the paper is this big, and so I store all those things, but then I never end up using it, and they're just taking up space. So I cut them down to a reasonable size, and I've just this is just one thing with all these various sizes. You can see there's different sizes here that I have clipped together, and I have them right on my desk. And I decided I would do kind of like sketching warm-ups every day and use up this paper. So I started that this week on Monday. And first I did this one. Then I did this one. Then I did this one. Then I did this one. And then this morning, I needed a new piece of paper. So I picked one with the same size again. And this time I drew my cat instead of a human face. So now then I'll go 2-3 days to get this one. Then I'll move down to another piece of paper. It's a great way to get some practice sketching in, using up a material. It put it in a format that's easy for me to store. Here's another one I have piled up with all sorts of different sizes. Some of it is a postcard, some of it's watercolor, some of it's scrapbook paper, some of it's I have envelopes in here, I don't know why, and then other pieces. So I got a couple of those. I'm going to be working my way through those in the next during this year. So the other thing that I did is I did this face on pastel paper in charcoal. I found it very challenging. Because once I started trying to do the shadows on her face, I thought that's way too dark. I can't take it up. So it was a good challenge, but challenge nonetheless. So I've done that one as well. And then in my art group, I did some things in watercolor last night. And I have I had one of those nights I started to sketch. No, I don't want to do this. I looked at this watercolor book I've been working through. I have to think too much. I just wanted to play. So play it became. So I played painting these ferny images. Like that's a fern. This is kind of a branch of a tree. Little tree growing up with all these different colors, and that was really a lot of fun. Just play. And then the next thing I did is, because in this book the artist does a pear, but it's very square looking, angular looking, which I prefer it to look more realistic. So I decided I would do my own pears, which are quite a bit different. I actually ended up putting I started doing direct watercolor, which is watercolor without sketching. And then I added the Stabilo around the end, and then it bled too much. And then I had to dab paint on top. So this actually does have a little bit of acrylic paint in it because it was a mess. And I That was the only way I could think of fixing it, kind of like this little yellow right here, and this little spot that's a little darker, that's acrylic, because it was all black smudged, a mess, a disaster. So I really had fun doing those little, those pairs. I kind of used a reference image from the internet, just the 4 pairs sitting on a table, and then just made them my own, chose my own colors. So it was really quite a lot of fun to actually do that project. The other thing that moving everything around my studio is, before you never could see the easel. I have my easel set up for a drawing I'm doing for a class. I used to have a dresser there, and then I had the easel in another spot. So I moved a lot around. I've changed. Oh, I keep slipping on this chair. My bookshelf looks really different. For anyone who remembers seeing it. And then the front of my desk looks really different. It was really kind of cluttered before. Now I have place for my skull and place for my hand model and the mannequin model for inspiration, and some other things that I can put up there. I've got a little nook over on this side, which I didn't have before, where I have all my watercolor palettes. So it's just, sometimes you have to stir the energy up and move things around and do things that are going to make you making art easier to do, because of just your surrounding, especially if you have a small studio like I do. There's just, no place to put things. And it gets constricting after a while. But that's what I have to share this week. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, but just been spending a lot of time basically cleaning up rooms, because when I started organizing it led to 3 rooms, and then we got a new piece of furniture, which has led to other kinds of organizing upstairs. So I've been an organizing fool, ready to settle down now and get to doing some serious work. So anyways, I hope you're all having great weeks in your studios or outdoors, whatever you're ending up doing. But until we talk again next week, let's all go make some art.